I don't know where this narrative is coming from. Now, it started with a congressman in the United States of America under the last administration. And, you know, President Donald Trump ran with it. At the point in time, he asked President Buhari, that, is it true? Or he asserted, and, you know, it was debunked as at that time. This thing is coming back again. Where is this coming from?
Let me give you a context to it. Indeed, in 2015, events leading to 2015, when the Boko Haram insurgency intensified, at the beginning it was largely affecting churches and Christians and religious leaders, because at the time, Boko Haram thought by doing that they would create religious war in the country and create problem. Not long after that, they switched now to everybody. And the stats are there to show that during these periods of insurgency and insecurity, there have been more Muslims killed than the Christians. So during Buhari, when the congressman was, talking what he was talking, yes, at the time we were exiting from this idea of being religiously influenced in terms of burning of churches and killing of Christians. They were also killing other faiths at the same time. But at the time, as we're exiting, you can say that the cry of the senator at the time might be justified. I'm not conceding to that, but somebody can just say...
Consistently every Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Bombing churches.
Here
and there.
But since the president took the oath of office in 2023, there have been far less cases of Christians being killed by the insurgents or bandits or Boko Haram as compared to other faiths. First of all, insecurity is a problem, not just in Nigeria, but globally. And governments the world over are making the effort to fight against that. But there is something very, very unique about the recent surge of this clamor by not just the congressmen, but the Western media in the United States. It is an agenda-based. It is based on a plan to destabilize Nigeria, to create... I'll give you a context. Immediately after the United Nations hunger, when Nigeria, took a position in relation to so many issues around the world, including issues in Gaza. 24 hours later, Bill Maher...
We went for two-state option.
Yes, yes. 24 hours later, Bill Maher, who is a comedian and a journalist in the U.S., of course, of the Jewish descent, now cried out. But from the content of his complaint, you can deduce that there is an agenda, because he said he wonders why the young people in Nigeria are not out in the street, and then he accused the media, Western media, of not covering it. The report that he was relied on was a report released not during this administration, but in the administration before now. Then that begs the question, where were they when that thing happened and when that report was released? Secondly, the author of that report, Intercity or whatever non-governmental organization, find out who are the funders, who are the people funding it. And thirdly, the report has been debunked and controverted by other reports because, one, it is outrightly false that number of people that they said were the number of people that were killed, they said were Christians. It has been debunked that it is not so. So what they do is that every crisis situation that happened in any part of the northern Nigeria that result in the killing, they classify all of them and categorize them as the killing of Christians. Now, I am not suggesting that there are no cases where Christians are killed or church mosques are burned, but the figure projected with the noise that is made typifies the picture or the textbook of somebody who has an agenda. Not long after he said that, you see the United States senators who are funded by AIPAC. The senators that are funded by AIPAC, in fact, they have recently come under backlash by the neocons and the MAGA people in the United States, took up this campaign. And for every mention of the issue around Nigeria, you will see them emphasizing people to go to the street and protest. That is a classical case
Destabilize.
That there is a plan to destabilize Nigeria. We will not allow that because if you have seen from the Nigerian point of view, Nigerians have learned. Nigerians are not taking them serious. But we need to take this disinformation they are given to the Western media and prove it to them that it is an agenda-driven. It is not born out of care for the people that are suffering in Nigeria. Otherwise, they would have done something about it.